all the eminent panelists who have educated all of us. Sorry for being a bit behind the schedule. We now come to the finale of the evening, and that is a book talk. The topic is Amazing Ayodhya, the splendid ancient city of Lord Rama. This book has been authored by Meena Rai. The lady is an author, an artist, and she's based out of New Delhi. Today, she will talk to us about Amazing Ayodhya, based on the research done by her on the Valmiki Ramayana. She makes ancient information understandable and relatable for today's generation. Over to Meena Rai.
Everyone. And thank you very much. I'm privileged here. I'm privileged to be here at the literary festival, Military Literary Festival. And I would like to express my gratitude to the director and the management to give me an opportunity to speak here. Today I'm here to share with you the military aspects of Ayodhya. Now in the Valmiki Ramayana there's a very interesting shlok which goes this way. Sa yojane chadve bhuyaha satya nama prakashate yasyam dashratho raja vasan jagat apalaya. This shlok translates to, while residing in that city from where King Dashrath ruled the world, that city is further fortified up to 2 more yojans. True to its name, Ayodhya, an unassailable one. Many people do not pay attention to the meaning of the word Ayodhya. Now, Ayodhya is a sandhi between A and Yudhya, which means that which cannot be fought, that which cannot be assailed, that which cannot be conquered. Now the question is, why is it that Ayodhya cannot be fought, cannot be conquered? And contrary to what everybody will tell you, that it is supposed to be a spiritual city, it is not a spiritual city, it is a military city. And the military aspects of it are encompassed in the design of Ayodhya itself. So in this show, what is very interesting is that Valmiki says Satya Nama. Satya Nama means true to its name. So what is true about this? What is true? What is it that makes Ayodhya unassailable? So I'm going to give you 10 points which makes Ayodhya unassailable. There are many more points, but for the purposes of this talk, I'm going to stick to only 10 points. The quality that one of the qualities, or in fact the first quality that I'm going to discuss, is that it was designed by Kshatriyas. And by Kshatriyas, I mean military people of ancient India, even today. For that matter, everybody knows Kshatriya is the other military people. So it was designed as a military city. And Ayodhya was a prototype. So what do I mean by a prototype? A prototype is something that is one of the first, and then many other cities copied the design. Why was it a prototype? It was a prototype because Manu established it. And who is Manu? Manu is the first ruler of mankind. He is the progenitor of the human species. So after Pralay, everybody knows, do all the children know there's something called a Pralay here? Anybody has studied? No? Okay, so in every Manvantar, after every Manvantar, there is a Pralay. And after the Pralay, the person who regenerates the human species, and by human species we mean the Homo sapiens, the person who regenerates it is called Manu. And the word man is derived from the word Manu. So man, humankind, comes from Manu, right? He is the first one who establishes this city and designs it. And therefore, it becomes the prototype for many cities to come. So one of the main things that is which has 4 limbs. From the word Chaturangi comes the word chess. So Shatranj is actually a Vikrit form or a distorted form of Chaturang. From Chaturang we get Shatranj, from Shatranj we get chess. So the 4 limbs of the army, out of which 3 limbs are animal-driven limbs of the army. So one is the infantry, which people can, on which people are on foot. Then you have cavalry, horses, you have chariots, again led by horses, and then you have the elephant section. So when you have a moat, then these limbs or the 3 animal-driven limbs of the army cannot cross the moat. One of the main concepts of army or an invading army or to have a defense fortification is to split the invading army. So therefore moats are constructed. Even today in the army we have the concept of ditch cum ban, which the army establishes to split an incoming army to be able to win a war, right? So this is what they did in the past as well. Now the palace, now the durg or the palace was totally built up. Also inside the city was totally built up. When you want to fight a war with a particular city or a particular capital, you need space to fight a war. Even if you have infantry, but there is no space. There is no space inside the city because it is totally built up. So Ayodhya is totally built up. There is no place, even if infantry goes, it cannot fight a war within Ayodhya. And outside you have a moat. Beyond the moat, there is a jungle. Now, the jungle is 2 yojans wide. Now, yojan is approximately 8 to 9 miles. 1 yojan is equal to 8 to 9 miles. So you can imagine around 16 to 18 miles wide, there is a dense jungle. When you have a dense jungle surrounding a capital, it's very difficult for armies to come directly. And then on the ramparts, so the fort of Ayodhya used to have very, very high walls and ramparts. And on those ramparts, there was a very mysterious weapon called the Shatagni. Now, the word Shatagni, if we split it in Sanskrit, it means Shat and Agni. The word Agni comes from the word Hant, which means to kill. So, everybody must have heard the name Shatrughna. Similarly, you have the word Shatagni. Shatrughna means somebody who is a killer of enemies or whose enemies have died as he's born, or all whose enemies are dead. Now Shatagni means, Shat means 100, that means a killer of hundreds or a 100 killer. Now this is a kind of a missile in which the bombing part or the one that this missile shoots far enough, and the portion that it shoots out, it detonates and splinters, killing people at a distance. Now this was the defense fortification of Ayodhya. With these fortifications, it was very difficult for an invading army to completely come and conquer. And these are the reasons with which we know that the design of Ayodhya was unassailable. So this is the defense incorporated in the design of Ayodhya itself. Now, apart from the Shatagni, apart from these reasons that I have given you, there were 3 more reasons why Ayodhya was unassailable. One of those reasons, and these are now the human factors. So in the human factors, one of the most important factors is the factor of political leaders or ministers. It clearly says that Ayodhya's ministers were not liars. They were not speakers of untruth. So what was special about them? How is it that they were always telling the truth? It is because they were not swayed. They were not swayed by anger, greed, and jealousy. Now, whenever you have anger, greed, and jealousy, or for that matter even hatred, you're very likely to lie. So these ministers did not experience this, and therefore they were always telling the truth.